Have you ever stopped to think how much of your happiness depends on you? Not on chance, not on others, but on your own determination? Perhaps you felt that emptiness, as if something was missing, even after achieving something that seemed important. It's like chasing the wind. But what if I told you that what's missing isn't out there, but inside you? Life, my friend, is not about waiting for ideal conditions or for luck that never comes. It's about action, about deciding that no matter what, you will find the strength to keep going. And you know what? It's that strength that makes all the difference. I remember a phrase from Marcus Aurelius that always inspires me. The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. Doesn't that sound powerful? Doesn't that sound powerful? I myself have found myself trapped in the expectations of others, trying to please, trying to be accepted. But the more I did this, the further away from myself I seemed to be. It was only when I decided to free myself from these invisible bonds that I began to see that true power lies in not depending on what others think or expect. Imagine life as a big ocean. Sometimes you face storms that seem endless, but it's in the strength of the current that you discover what you're made of. Just as a captain adjusts the sails to the wind, you need to adjust your mindset to life's challenges. It's not easy, but it's essential. And when you realize that every choice, every effort, every small step is like a brick in the construction of your happiness, things change. We're not talking about perfection, but progress. After all, as Henry David Thoreau said, success usually comes to those who are too busy to look for it. So why wait? What's stopping you from starting now? The turning point is near. Let's explore together what it really means to take control of your life and how to overcome the obstacles that seem insurmountable. Are you with me? Have you ever wondered why it so often seems that happiness is always one step ahead, out of reach? Perhaps it's because we've been taught to believe that it lies in results, the ideal job, the perfect relationship, validation from others. But that's not true. Octavio Paz, in his reflections, reminds us that happiness is not something we can achieve as an object, but rather as a way of being in the world. It's a state that is built, not found. And this construction begins within you, in the way you choose to face each day. Life can be tough, and we are often faced with difficulties that make us question whether we have enough strength to carry on. But that's when resilience comes into play. It's not about ignoring pain, but accepting it as part of the journey. Marcus Aurelius, in Meditations, said that the obstacles in the way become the way. This is the transformative power of conscious effort. It not only shapes our character, but also redefines how we see the challenges we face. I remember a conversation with a friend who was going through a difficult time. He felt that everything was falling apart and that he had no control over anything. I asked him, "Have you ever noticed that the biggest trees face the strongest winds? That's what makes them so firm." And so it is with life. Every setback we face offers us the opportunity to grow, to become stronger and more capable. It's not about avoiding storms, but learning to navigate them. We often let ourselves be carried away by criticism and offense from others, allowing it to define our self-esteem. But why do we give so much power to voices that don't know the depth of our struggles? True strength does not lie in the absence of pain or difficulty, but in the ability to stand up, even when all seems lost. This requires a conscious decision to value oneself, regardless of external circumstances. As we approach the moment of turning the page to a new perspective, remember that progress is never linear. It's like climbing a mountain. There will be moments of exhaustion when all you want to do is stop, but when you look back, you'll see how far you've climbed, and that will give you the strength to carry on. This is the time to reflect. What steps can you take today, not tomorrow, to start building the life you want? Are you willing to accept the challenge of facing your limitations and turning them into strengths? Sometimes we feel we are carrying an invisible weight. This weight is made up of expectations, past failures, and fears about the future. It's like trying to run with a backpack full of stones. But what if you started emptying that backpack? Recognizing what's inside is the first step towards lightening the load. As Jose Ortega y Gasset said, "I am me and my circumstances." However, he also adds that, in order to save ourselves, We need to overcome these circumstances. We are not prisoners of them unless we choose to be. Life challenges us to be more than we believe ourselves to be. However, we often limit ourselves because we accept beliefs imposed by others. You can't, that's not for you. How many times have these words resonated in your mind? Noam Chomsky argues that we live in a society shaped to control our thinking and limit our actions. But the good news is that you don't have to accept these limitations. You can break free, question these beliefs, and start building a broader vision of what is possible. One of the reasons we stand still is the fear of failure. But failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of the path to it. Imagine a sculptor standing in front of a block of marble. Every blow he takes, every piece that falls off is seen by others as destruction. But for the sculptor, it is part of the process of revealing the masterpiece within the block. So too is his journey. Every mistake, every fall is a lesson that shapes who you are becoming. Have you ever stopped to think about what you're putting off? Maybe it's a decision, a conversation, or even the simple act of starting something new. Procrastination is a silent thief that steals your dreams, but you don't have to wait for the perfect moment. As Octavio wrote, reality is built in the present. All you have is now, this moment, and it's enough to take the first step. Remember, action is the key that opens doors to the unknown. And here we come to the turning point. It's time to look at the problem with fresh eyes. Perhaps you'll realize that the solution has never been in the outside world, but always within you. Imagine that your life is a garden. It only flourishes if you have the courage to plant, water, and wait. And even if storms come, it is your dedication that will ensure that it blooms again. What are you going to plant today? Have you ever noticed how difficulties have the power to transform us? At first glance, they just seem like obstacles, but when we face them, we discover that they are actually opportunities in disguise. Cornel West reminds us that adversity forces us to confront who we are. It exposes our vulnerabilities, but also reveals our hidden strengths. It's like forging a sword in fire. Without the intense heat, the metal would never become as strong. At this point, you may be asking yourself, why me? Why does everything have to be so difficult? These questions are human, but they need to be rephrased. Instead of asking, why me? Try asking, what can I learn from this? Søren Kierkegaard, the father of existentialism, argued that true growth comes from accepting anxiety as part of the human condition. It is this discomfort that drives us to seek a deeper meaning to life. When we accept that pain and effort are part of the process, something incredible happens. We realize that we have more control than we imagined. Think of someone climbing a steep mountain. Each step seems like a challenge, but when you look back, you realize how far you've come. So it is with life. Small, consistent actions create significant changes over time. It's not about running, but about continuing to walk. And here is the crucial moment, the decision to act. Many people get stuck waiting for conditions to be perfect, but perfection is an illusion. As Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not over external events. Realize this, and you will find the strength. It all starts with a small gesture, a small choice. Perhaps it's something as simple as establishing a morning routine or starting to take better care of yourself. It's these small victories that add up to big transformations. Now imagine what your life would be like if you decided to take action today. Imagine the doors that could open, the opportunities that could arise. The climax of this journey is not in the distant future. It's right here, right now, the moment you decide to take the next step, however small it may seem. And that step is just the beginning. Have you ever stopped to think about the power of small changes? It's easy to believe that progress only comes from grand gestures, but in reality, it's made up of everyday details. Imagine a plant growing. It doesn't blossom overnight. It's the daily, almost imperceptible care that transforms it. So it is with life. Mario Sergio Cortella stresses that the extraordinary lies in the ordinary. It's the small decisions, waking up earlier, taking care of your health, dedicating time to what matters, that shape an extraordinary future. When we start prioritizing what really matters, everything changes. A structured routine may seem simple, but it creates a solid foundation for greater achievements. Think of it like building a house. The foundation needs to be firm. If you start the day with a morning routine that includes reflection, planning, and self-care, you'll already be setting the tone for the rest of the day. As Mike Viking suggests in his ideas on happiness, moments of simplicity and balance are essential for a more fulfilling life. You may be thinking, but what if I fail? The truth is that we all fail. But failure doesn't define who we are. It defines where we are. Every attempt is a chance to learn. Remember, even the biggest river started out as a small stream. It is in the constant flow that it gains strength. You may fail today, but if you try again tomorrow, you'll be closer to success. When we adopt this mindset, we realize that we are not just living, but creating. Each choice is like a brushstroke in a great work of art. Sometimes the colors may seem confused or out of place, but when viewed from a distance, they make up a beautiful and coherent image. That's the beauty of life, a work in progress. And here is the final point of this reflection. Now that you know that change starts with small gestures, how about taking the first step? It doesn't have to be something huge. It could be as simple as rearranging your desk, going for a walk, or taking 5 minutes to think about what's important to you. Small steps lead to big journeys. Are you ready to start? If this message resonated with you, share your story. Let's together turn today's small actions into tomorrow's great achievements. After all, change is more powerful when it's shared.